The judge is reprimanding and directing those two individuals who represent Amber Heard on how to conduct themselves appropriately in court and how to get their act together. The judge is concerned about how they'll defend their client in the upcoming trial. She has been subjected to such a peculiar investigation, and being the no-nonsense lady that she has made the decision to call them herself and give them an earful on how to behave in court. Or at least that's what we hope she'll do. From the look on her face, however, it's fairly obvious that she has not found the behavior of Amber's lawyer in the most recent few minutes to be amusing at all. This conclusion can be drawn just by observing her face. Take a look at how rude he was in response to the circumstance. It's almost as if he believes that he has a right to be disrespectful to this other attorney merely because Camilla, they have been forced to listen to anything his witness was speaking. In other words, it is almost as if he believes that he has the right to be impolite. Because the judge, like everyone else in the room, could see that the man was behaving in an unfriendly manner, she quickly issued a ruling in favor of the objector. However, this is not the first time that Amber's counsel has acted inappropriately in the courtroom. This is only the most recent instance. Amber's legal representation has been known to get into a heated debate with the magistrate who is presiding over the case whenever the judge has taken issue with something that Amber has said or done. They haven't exactly been silent about the fact that they don't agree with the proposition on their own. However, it is because of this that Johnny's crew has been objectifying more, which has rendered their investigations and witnesses inaccessible. Judging from the emotions on their faces, it is evident that this has not made him happy. Because he currently holds a few major titles in the industry is my best regard as to why this is the case. When he spoke with Amber's attorney, he did so in a way that showed more deference and courtesy to the individual than he did to Camille. Or, it's possible that he had the intention of making it abundantly plain to the jury that Camille had made it very clear that she did not want his witness to testify in the case. This would be an alternative explanation. The unfavorable outcomes occurred regardless of the reasons for his behavior, which was quite upsetting. The behavior in question was never tolerated by the judge who presided over the case. It is also very obvious that Amber's attorneys are approaching the matter in a manner that is somewhat chaotic on their end. Throughout the entirety of the trial, they were unable to produce the necessary files and documentation, and it appears that they also had forgotten to bring their evidence with them. Another thing that can be seen very well in this particular aspect, the investigation has become so complicated and disorganized as a result of the daily surfacing of new details and the rise of new adversaries, both of which have contributed to the proliferation of new suspects. And I wouldn't be wrong to point out the fact that, of course, the two sides are not friendly with one another. However, regardless of whether they're friends or enemies, they shouldn't show it in the court to the jury because it might hurt their case. And I wouldn't be wrong to point out the fact that, of course, the two sides are not friendly with one another. The judge has already had two different conversations with Amber's legal counsel in the past. In the first instance, it was to instruct Amber's female lawyer on the meaning of objection and hearsay. And in the second instance, it was to remind them to maintain their composure and be respectful in court. A no-nonsense treatment was given to Amber Heard's counsel, Elaine Bredehoff, by Judge Penny Ascarate in the final hearing of the defamation trial between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. On Friday, the legal teams representing Heard and Depp met in a courthouse in Virginia, Fairfax County to discuss the potential outcomes of a settlement agreement involving a sum of $10.35 million that has been struck between the parties concerned. One day after Heard prevailed over Depp, a reporter by the name of Anjanette Levy, who was present at the sessions, noted that the judge was strict with Elaine. This was a response to Elaine's critical remarks that the jury had made earlier. Judge A will not tolerate any nonsense on her watch. Today, she was somewhat more firm and appeared as if she did not give EB the slightest bit of consideration regarding what she had to say. After that, I asked EB whether she could come outside given that our camera was located there, and whether she had anything to contribute to the dialogue. She politely denied my request, albeit she did not grant it. I take note, Ms. Levy. After some time had passed, a user of Instagram chose to publish a comment made by Judge Ascarate in which she attacked Elaine once more. She reacted to Elaine's request for a concise timetable by saying, "I'm the chief judge of the court." And that's how it goes. Despite the fact that no such schedule existed, Elaine's request was made in response to the fact that she was the head judge of the court. Elaine had earlier characterized the jury as being infested by social media discourse and prescribed them as being prejudiced prior to the reaching of a decision by the panel. She discussed the contentious material during her appearance on the Today Show when she was interviewed. There, she began by implying that the results had been tampered with, and when questioned further, she responded with an absolutely. However, even if the jurors had followed the instructions and avoided looking at social media, it would have been impossible for anyone not to be aware of what is happening in the world today. And that's all for today's video. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section down below. I hope that you found this video interesting, and if you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. See you in the following video with some more of the latest updates, and until then, stay tuned.